How's it going, guys, and welcome to another Mordhau video. Today we're looking at Horde mode, and more specifically a way that you can survive past, let's say, round 5 or 6, which is where I've seen most people that are new to the game, and pretty much everybody's still new to the game at this point. That's where most of the team dies, and you end up finishing Horde mode a lot quicker than you would like. Now, the first 2 rounds, you can just see here, I'm AFKing. Well, I'm not AFK, but I'm not even doing anything. The rest of the team is they took hose, and those are for 15 points, I guess you can say. They cost 15 points. However, I waited, and I waited until I had 20. I knew that they can take care of business, and I just started when I had 20 points. So now I got these throwing knives. You got 10 of those, and those are awesome. Like, they're really good at the beginning of the game. Not only do they basically one-shot people, but as you just saw, I was lining up my shots and I ran over the bodies, and because I didn't throw my last dagger, they basically automatically collected after I ran over them. So as long as you have one equipped, one dagger, you didn't throw your last one, you can run over the daggers that you threw, and you'll be able just to auto pick them up. Now that's not the case if you throw your last dagger. You're gonna have to press E and hold it for a little bit just to pick it back up. It's not very long, but it is much longer than just running over it. Anyway, here we have the tactic, the ladder and the tower. So basically, you can climb up here. Of course, if you have a ranged weapon, like you see, I got the recurved bow, which is 100 points. And you can stay up here and pretty much, I'm not going to say be safe, because it's very hard to be safe on this tower. However, they're not able to climb the ladders. And I don't know if this is intentional, that the game designers wanted to give you a chance, and these enemies are super dumb and they don't understand the concept of ladders, that you can climb up them. However, they are still pretty deadly, and as the rounds progress, they will be throwing poo at you. Yeah, you heard that correctly. They're throwing shit at you. Literally, they're throwing feces at the tower. You can see all those brown smudges, and that will kill you. If you get hit a few times with shit from down below, you are going to die. One of the good things about this tower is that you have the crossbow right down there. It's 150 points. It only carries 30 ammo, as the recurve bow has 50 arrows. You got only 30 bolts on the crossbow. And it's right down there, so that's a good thing, because that's where the ammo is as well. So when you run out, you can restock and you don't have to run way across the map. Here you can see they respawn, and that's one of the things that you have to worry about, is that they do respawn at the beginning of a round really close to this tower. So if you're not ready and you're not sitting in your tower when the round starts and you're running across the map, you're going to see later in this video, you might have some problems getting up it. But if you're up here, you're safe. I actually am holding crouch. The default key is control. I am holding that down to just make my profile a little bit, like my silhouette, a little bit smaller, less chance of getting hit by shit. But you see the round isn't really has just begun, and I'm already down at half health. So anyway, we've managed to survive, and I'm doing my crossbow work here now. I have some ammo, and there's 3 guys. When there's 3 guys up on this tower, it is a little bit crowded, and there is a spot here behind the boxes. It's a sneaky spot, but you do lose a little bit of maneuverability because you can't go back. It's a very tight spot here, so you can't move around a lot, but you are a little bit safe. And if there's 3 guys on the tower, one of them could be here, and he's a little bit out of the way for the other 2 who are moving around. Now I tried to just sit still here for a moment and see what's gonna happen, like to see if they're actually able to throw the poo in my direction. You know, if they're going to be able to hit me. And yes, they can. They are throwing. They do notice me. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before I start getting... There you go. See, I got hit with a piece of poo. And that took me down a little bit. Of course, if you have some armor, it's gonna improve, and you know, it's gonna help you survive. But you know, you see that they're not noticing as much because they have some other targets to throw their poo at. But in this case, you know, it's not a perfect spot, right? It's not like you're not invisible here, but you are out of the way, and you can move a little bit, you know, like less, which is good with the crossbow, because that load time, when you're loading another bolt onto the crossbow, you are actually standing still. You have to stand still. The game makes you stand still, which I like. This is one of the reasons why I like bows a little bit better, is because you can reload and run around at the same time. And see here, I'm just AFK. Well, I'm not AFKing again, but I'm not like moving or anything. Just seeing if they can see me, and seeing how, like, you know, how they're gonna throw their how they're gonna throw their poo. But yeah, you know, this tower basically keeps them on the ground and kind of contained, you know, and you only have to worry about just not getting hit with their projectiles. And that is another round. It's probably a good idea, just like I remember from my Call of Duty zombie days, when you do have a horde surviving game such as this, it's probably a good idea to leave the last one. Yeah, you just saw there, I just fell down because I'm trying to do everything really quickly. Like, I see the timer, and I know the next round's coming up really quick. They did not leave one enemy alive, and now we're just scrambling to get up. We're scrambling to get ready, and I already dropped to I'm almost dead, and the round just started. So that's very important, to get ready before you kill the last soldier, in this case, not the last zombie. In Call of Duty, it was the last crawler, and it's just good tactics. You know, you can contain one, and then one team member draws him away, and he's running after. The other team members have a chance to restock on ammo, get back into the tower, and generally speaking, be ready without losing health, because that's the main thing here. If you're on the tower, you want to have full health, and bandages as well. That's the pro tactic that I've seen in another gameplay that I unfortunately wasn't recording. The guys that were up here, they also had bandages, and they were always running around, leaving one and making sure they have enough time to get bandages, get ammo, so that when they are up here and dealing with a whole horde down below, they have everything up here they need, and they can stay up here for a long time. Now, in the same game that I was telling you about, they also had fire bombs, so later on that's going to be something very useful. But keep in mind that the enemies down below are also going to be throwing smoke and fire up here, and if they're lucky, they can really do a lot of damage with that fire, and that's going to be a big issue later on. But anyway, so you see here, I'm back in my sneaky spot, just trying to not be noticed, I guess. Unfortunately, the poo is flying in my direction, and sooner or later, with I didn't have a lot of health, but that gave me an opportunity to look at all the action from the side, and just you can see the way this tactic works, right? So you can see that they're just massing down below, not being able to get up. You got your archers on the tower, 2 or 3. I think 4 would be a little bit too much, and you're just going to be getting in each other's way, making it more difficult to avoid the poo. And of course, down below at the base of the tower, you got your ammo, so you can stock up. And here again, I didn't have time to get back on the tower before the round started, because those enemies spawn like right at the base of the tower. They're gonna be on you really quickly, so there's no time to fuck around down below. You got to get back up on your tower quick, and unless you want to get killed on the ladder, or you want to get killed running up to the tower. And at this point, at round 9 or 10, the enemies are very powerful, and they will kill you very quickly, especially if you're not wearing any armor at all. In this case, a shield is good for archers as well. Yeah, you can just see that they're just like not able to comprehend the power of the ladder. Yes, this technology of ladder just goes beyond them. So they're just standing there walking back and forth, the guys who are not throwing poo. But in the end, you see, they did manage to take us down. And round 10 is where we ended. But look at this, 1,000 gold, which I think is not that bad. Considering it didn't take that long, like if you don't waste time and you don't take a lot of time to restock and in between rounds, this 1,000 gold was pretty quick. Anyway, so now the second place on the same map here, we have these 3 roofs, and they also have a ladder, which of course makes the enemies not be able to get up here. But one of the good things about this roof is that you can really see a lot. Like that tower is a little bit limited in terms of the field of view, but here, okay, you have a lot less cover also. Yeah, so of course I'm going to be keeping that control key held down, so I'm always crouching. But you can see here, it's a similar round, and of course I still have the recurve bow, and I'm gonna use the crossbow and test the crossbow here as well. Because keep in mind, yeah, that you have to stand still to load the crossbow. It's not like here with the bow that I can load and move around. I'm going to speed up the video a little bit because it does take a little while to take them all down. But you can see here in between these 2 spaces, they're down below, so you can shoot through those. And of course, if you're feeling like really good, you can arch the guys that are a little bit further away and shoot them. Keep in mind, yeah, the ammo is very limited. If you start missing and you try to take those long shots and miss, so it's best just to keep close and shoot in between these 2 roofs. You can see you can kind of anticipate them, and before they get a chance to throw their poo, yeah, that guy managed. See, these guys are if they're lucky, before the arrow hits, they're going to be able to throw their shit, and you're going to get hit. So again, with this area, it's good as well because the ammo for the recurve bow, just like that crossbow. Ammo in the crossbow at the base of the tower. Here, all you have to do is run to the right, and behind basically the wall that I'm standing facing. Oh, it's behind me basically. I have the ammo for the recurve bow, and you can stock up pretty quickly. But keep in mind that this is an area where they are spawning, so you do not have a lot of time. Especially if you want to restock up on bolts for the crossbow. You have to basically run across half the map to that tower. It doesn't feel like a big distance, but when you are being chased by enemies, it's taxing. Anyway, yeah, that's stupid of me, and I've been doing that a little bit too much because I've been used to playing other games where that fall damage isn't quite so deadly. But yeah, just climb down the ladder. I know you're trying to save time, but jumping down is gonna bring down your health quite a bit. And in this case, I really wanted that crossbow to be able to test it. But you see here, I'm wasting time. Instead of running back to the roofs, I'm typing, and I'm telling the team to leave one, and the importance of leaving one. But in the meantime, I lost all my time, and they spawned, see, right here, really close to this ladder. So it was stupid of me to even try and climb up, and I got killed really quickly by just these guys not even being able to get up. They knocked me off the ladder. If they hit you, they knock you off. So let's assume that didn't happen. And now this next round, it's the same round, but in a different game. I try the same tactics again because, of course, I got killed, and then the rest of the team got killed really quickly. So I'm in a completely different round now, but same crossbow, same tactics, and I really want to try what it's like to load this crossbow on the roof. And you can see the team already picked up on my strategy, and some of them are in the tower, some of them are on this roof. And this is where you guys should be. If it's like round 7 or 8 or 9, there are going to be a lot of enemies, and it's going to be very difficult not to get overwhelmed on the ground. You're fighting 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys, but what about if you have like 10 guys? That's a lot. Anyway, so the same tactics I hear. I'm trying to shoot them through the roofs, in between the roofs, and I'm trying, I got really used to the bow and arrow, so it's a little bit awkward for me to shoot this crossbow, but not really shoot it, but to load it. That little bit of load time when you're standing still. Here in Horde mode, well, in I think any mode in this game, it's when you're really vulnerable, and you know, I'm trying to keep that in mind. So yeah, then when I'm loading, you know, I'm seeing if I'm safe. See, I walk back here a little bit back to load, and then walk a little bit forward and a little bit back. See, he managed to get me with the poo, and look at that. The poo isn't very deadly, but look at that. 2 shots and already 3/4 health. I already lost 1/4 of my health bar, and now they just brought me down to almost half. So you see that, yeah, it's like 5 or 6 shots. If you're not careful with the poo, they will kill you with it, and it's a very bad feeling, believe me. Look at all that poo. Yeah, they're throwing it from the bottom, not being able to hit me. But so those guys at the bottom are not a big issue, but these guys that are a little bit further away, if they stop and they sling their shit like that guy right there, that is your big problem, right? The guys down below, even if there's a lot of them, they have to be very, very lucky to be able to get an angle to get you from in between those roofs from the bottom, like that guy right there. That angle has to be like perfect. But these guys further away, they're the bigger issue here. And of course, you see, you have a lot of field of view, a lot more from that tower. You see one of my guys is in the tower there, and he's doing the tower tactics, which is, I guess, good if you have a good team and you split up. Like half the team is here on these roofs, the other half is on that tower. Then perhaps this is the best way to survive further on. But like you see, getting hit with shit, and that's your biggest worry right now. Like I said, they're gonna throw fire bombs later on in later rounds, and I have seen I think up to round like 18 that tower tactic work with 2 guys in it. And whenever somebody would spawn in and try to join them on that tower, they would do everything in their power to kick them off. You know, use the F key to kick and try to kick you off because they wanted to be alone there. So I did see this tactic work quite nicely, but you see it. You know, it takes a little bit of time, right? I mean, I guess it's better to take your time and not die than be cavalier. With the last experience of them not leaving one guy behind, I decided to jump down here with 13 enemies remaining to restock up on ammo so that I don't get left behind. But that was my big mistake here, because there were still too many enemies and I didn't have enough health. Jumping down took me down, and then another piece of shit. And now, at this point, all it takes is 1 piece of poo, and I am out of this round. So that's really bad on my part. I should have waited. I was scared that they're going to end the round. They're not going to leave one, and I'm not going to have enough time to get all my shit. So you know, there's still quite a few enemies left, and I'm out in the open. I'm not on my roof, and this is the moment when you know, I don't even know what's you know, I'm not even gonna, yeah, see, I didn't even see that. I didn't know where that shit came from. There's too many guys. You should maybe leave, I guess, 2 or 3, but not 13. If there's 13, you should just stay on that roof. And but this gave me the opportunity to watch one of my allies here, and he's quite good as well. He's gonna mop up the rest with his bow. What's funny here is I left it at the end. You're gonna see that he's gonna deal, and he is gonna leave 1 enemy, but you know, he is using this tactic of resupplying before killing the last guy. But you'll see what's gonna happen. I think it's pretty funny. So that's all for me. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, he's getting frustrated now, and I understand why. Because those shots are landing, like they are not missing, right? This guy is just God mode. Alright, see you guys.